Consider supporting this channel for as little as $5 a month on Patreon. You can also commission future content for this game. Link is in the description. You can also send a one-time donation of any amount to this channel using PayPal. Link is in the description. If climate change continues to spiral out of control to the point where all of the land ice melts, sea level will rise by 70 meters. To give you an idea of just how serious that would be, I decided to explore what would happen to some of our lighthouses should the sea level rise that high. First, we have the Vizhinjam Lighthouse in Kovalam, Corolla, India. It's located on land that is 23 meters above sea level. Let's see if that can save it from the sea level rising by 70 meters. Well, that's not good. Its entire foundation is underwater now. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. It completely covered it. It is completely underwater now. Now for the Bald Head Lighthouse, located on Bald Head Island at the entrance to the Cape Fear River in North Carolina. It's located on land that's only 5 meters above sea level, and it looks like it's not doing too much to help it. Oh my goodness. Wow, the entire thing is submerged and then some. The water is so deep you can barely even see the lighthouse. Even if the sea level only rose by half of that, the lighthouse would still barely be poking its head above the water. Now let's look at the Bodie Island Lighthouse. It's located on land that is only 1 meter above sea level. Ah, there goes the oil storage house. Ah, and there goes the first 2 stripes. And the first 4 stripes. Oh, and it's still going. It doesn't look like it's gonna make it. Nope, it's not gonna make it. Yep, and there goes the lantern room. Alright, the whole thing is submerged. Here's what it would look like if the sea rose by half that much. Pretty much half of the lighthouse is submerged. Also, the foundation of this lighthouse was not designed to be underwater, so there's no way it would be able to stand up to this. It would probably collapse. Its foundation is just made of piles of wood sitting on crushed stone. The Boston Lighthouse is located on land that's 9 meters above sea level. Will that be enough to protect it from the rising sea? Let's find out. Oh, there goes the entrance to the lighthouse. Oh, it's getting higher. I wonder if you would be able to see a light from a lighthouse if it's underwater. Either way, The lighthouse is completely underwater. Even if the water only rose by half that height, everything would be underwater except the walkway below the lantern room. This is the keeper's house to the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. This is an oil house. And this is the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. The Cape Hatteras Lighthouse is located on land that is 3 meters above sea level, which is not that high. Still, I have a feeling that at least the lantern room will stick above the water, since it is the tallest lighthouse in the United States. Well, we'll see. However, its foundation was not designed to be underwater, so it probably would not survive this. There goes the keeper's house. There goes the brick foundation. Oh wow, it actually survived the water rising. Well, assuming its foundation wasn't destroyed by it, and the land underneath it didn't shift to the point where it would collapse. But yeah, it is actually sticking slightly above the water. However, if you live in Buxton, your house would be underwater. If the sea level rose this high, this lighthouse would be the only sign that life ever existed on this stretch of land, or that there used to be a civilization where this water currently stands. It's the only thing in this entire island to poke its head above the water. You wouldn't be able to see the light from as far away because the lighthouse wouldn't be as tall above the water anymore. This lighthouse is so tall that if the sea levels were only to rise by half that much, most of it would still be visible above the water line. That being said, its foundation also might not survive this happening, because very few lighthouses have survived the water rising up to its foundation. For example, when water got dangerously close to the Cape St. George Lighthouse on St. George Island in Florida, first it eroded the land underneath it, causing it to tilt dangerously to one side. Then it fell into the water. It was eventually rebuilt on solid land. This is the Cape Lookout Lighthouse. And this is an oil storage facility for it. This is the Cape Lookout Lighthouse, located on Great Island in North Carolina. It sits on land that is only 1 meter above sea level, and it looks like it's not going to do much to help it. Already, one of its diamond patterns has been submerged underwater, as well as the wooden stairway that serves as the entrance to the lighthouse. But the water is still rising. Now another layer of its diamond pattern has been submerged. And another one. Oh, it doesn't look like it's gonna make it. Nope. It's completely submerged. I wonder if the water is deep enough that a container ship would be able to float above the lighthouse. I can't get it high enough to check, but it looks like it'll just barely clear it. Even if the water was only half that high, most of the lighthouse is still submerged underneath it. This is the Currituck Beach Lighthouse located on Corolla Village Road near North Carolina Highway 12. The Currituck Beach Lighthouse is located on land that is only 2 meters above sea level, which means it's probably not going to survive the sea rising. Okay, we're up to 35 meters and it's still rising. 60 meters. It's not going to make it. But the weather vane is sticking above the water. That's all that's sticking above the water, though. Even if the water only rose by half as much, half of the lighthouse would still be submerged. This tiny little thing is called the Deer Island Lighthouse, not to be confused with the Deer Island Thoroughfare Mark Island Lighthouse in Maine. This lighthouse is located on land that's already below sea level. And it doesn't take much to submerge it either. 5 meters and the entire platform is underwater. But the ladder to climb to the top is still intact. "14 meters and we're up to the light." 16 meters. "17 meters and we're up to the loudspeaker, and now the entire structure is underwater. Even at only half the elevation, the entire structure is still submerged underwater. The Graves Ledge Lighthouse is already partially submerged in the water, so its foundation might survive the sea level rising. Well, there goes the platform and the storage house. Now the water is up to the doorway. Oh, and there goes the doorway. And now we're all the way up to the gallery below the lantern room. Here's a closer look at the lens. With the solar panels completely submerged now, the lighthouse will likely shut off after the battery fully drains. And now the American flag on the top of the lighthouse is submerged underwater. Even at only half that elevation, the only thing that pokes above the water is the lantern room and the American flag. The Long Island Head Lighthouse is located on a cliff off the coast of Boston, Massachusetts. The cliff is 27 meters tall, so maybe that might help a little bit. Who knows? Oh, it looks like it's not gonna help that much. Yep, the entire thing is completely submerged underwater and then some. With the water elevation only half that height, the lighthouse still barely makes it above the water. The Oak Island Lighthouse is located in Caswell Beach on Oak Island in North Carolina. The Oak Island Lighthouse is made of pigmented concrete, so I'm not entirely sure if it will survive the sea level rising. It's located on land that is 3 meters above sea level. And it is not that tall by itself, so it's probably not going to survive the rising. Uh-oh, there goes the dark gray band. Oh, and there goes the white band as well. All that's left is the black one. Oh, and that's gone too. The entire structure is submerged now. And then some. Even if the water only rose half as high, it would still go all the way up to the black band. The Ocracoke Lighthouse is located on Silver Lake in Ocracoke Village on Ocracoke Island, North Carolina. The Ocracoke Lighthouse is located on land that is only 1 meter above sea level. And just as you might expect, it will not survive the water rising by 70 meters. The Prices Creek Front Range Lighthouse is located east of Southport, North Carolina on the Cape Fear River. The lighthouse is located on land that is only 1 meter above sea level, and look at that, it's already up to the door. And now it's up to the top of the lighthouse. And now the entire structure is submerged. The St. Augustine Lighthouse is located on Anastasia Island in Florida. The lighthouse is located on land that is only 5 meters above sea level. And there goes the oil storage house, which is also the entrance to the lighthouse. And there goes window number 1, window number 2, and window number 3. Oh, it actually survived, kind of. Of course, that doesn't mean the foundation will survive, though. Even if the water only rose by half that much, the lighthouse would still be halfway submerged in the water, assuming the foundation could survive this. The Statue of Liberty is located on a partially man-made island on the New Jersey side of the Hudson River. The island is 5 meters above sea level, and there goes the foundation. Oh, and there goes the pedestal. And it's still climbing. And now the water is at the base of the statue. And it's still climbing. Well, I guess we can say that the city of New York is pretty much screwed at this point. Oh wow, it almost goes all the way up to the torch. This is pretty horrifying. The torch and one spike from the crown are the only things that appear above the water. Even if the water was only half as high, it would still go halfway up the pedestal.